In this video, I'm going to tell you about the presentation requirements for each of the speeches that are due in this course. So we'll start with the influences presentation. This is the first speech that you will give in this class. It is a 3 to 5 minute speech. You will turn in a formal outline. The outline must be detailed. It must be in complete sentences, and you'll follow a formal structure. There is a sample outline provided under the presentation requirement information section that tells you how this should be followed. You'll also submit a presentation video. A minimum of 5 audience members are required when you video your speeches. So the influences presentation has an introduction, body, and conclusion. In the introduction, you'll have an attention getter. You'll state your thesis and you'll preview your main points. Then you'll go to the body of your speech and you'll talk about 3 things. You'll talk about a person that influenced your life, a place that influenced your life, and an experience that influenced your life. So this is the only time in this course that I assign you the 3 main points you're going to cover, but these will be your 3 main points. You can put them in any order that makes sense to you. The main things do not have to fit together. Your person, place, and experience do not have to weave together in some way. They can be completely separate things. The main thing is that you're talking about major influences in your own life. The conclusion, you'll cue conclusion, so you'll say in conclusion. Today we have discussed the major influences that I've had in my life. We discussed a person, place, and experience, and then you'll provide a clear ending that kind of wraps up everything that you've shared with us. Topic choice. For the next 3 presentations, consider using the same topic. You can use the same topic for your informative speech and then change that into a persuasive speech. This is a really big time saver in that you're doing one set of research that can be used for 3 assignments. If you need help, reach out and we can figure it out. There is a document in Canvas that gives you some ideas of topics that can be made from an informative to persuasive speeches. So the informative presentation requirements, it's a 5 to 9 minute speech. You'll turn in a formal outline. The outline must be in complete sentences. You'll follow the formal structure that's given to you as sample outlines in Canvas. And if you quote things directly, include parenthetical citations within your outline. You can research APA format for parenthetical citations in order to find out how to do this. Your works cited page has to have a minimum of 5 sources, and those sources must be cited in APA format. Of course, you will be pulling information from at least 5 sources into your outline. Your visual aid must be technology based. It's a PowerPoint, Prezi, or slideshow, and you must have a minimum of 5 slides. Remember that a visual aid should enhance and impact your words. It doesn't necessarily need to have say your speech verbatim. It doesn't need to have everything you're saying. It just needs to impact what you're saying. It's also important that you refer to that visual aid when you're giving your presentation. And again, your presentation video must have a minimum of 5 audience members, and you must incorporate the visual aid into your presentation. Informative presentations are over a person, place, object, event, or concept. Your introduction is similar to the influences. You'll have an attention getter. You'll state your thesis, but you'll also establish credibility. So explain, why do we need to listen to you talk about this topic? Have you researched it? Is it something that's affected your life directly, so you have knowledge about it? Just tell us why you're credible to speak on the topic. And then you'll preview your main points. In the body of your speech, you'll have 3 main points. You will organize them in a logical way, and each main point will have support material. Each main point should also be balanced, so that you have roughly the same amount of information in each one. Provide information, not opinion. So in the informative speech, you're just giving us information. Then you'll have a conclusion. You'll cue conclusion, restate your thesis, recap your main points, and provide a clear ending. For your persuasive presentations, you'll give 2 persuasive presentations. We're going to call these Take 1 and Take 2 because they're going to be over the same topic. You will expand on Take 1's presentation for Take 2. You'll correct errors made in Take 1's when you do Take 2, and you'll apply feedback from Take 1 when you do Take 2. This will give you an opportunity to polish up a presentation and demonstrate that you can improve each attempt. So it's important with these that you'll pick one topic, you'll develop it for take one, and then you'll get all your information and feedback. You'll add the research to it, and then you'll do the second version of the first speech. And this will be a good opportunity for us to see your growth throughout the assignment. So for persuasive presentation take one, it's 4 to 7 minutes. You'll have a formal outline just like you have the other speeches. You'll have a works cited page, and it only requires a minimum of 3 sources, and the sources must be in APA format. You'll have a technology-based visual aid with a minimum of 5 slides. You'll have the minimum of 5 audience members required and a visual aid. Do know that in this speech, however, you'll get to share your opinion. So with this one, you'll have a similar attention getter, statement of thesis, establish credibility like you had to in the informative, preview your main points. You'll have 3 main points, and they need to be organized in some logical way. You'll provide support material, incorporate that into each main point. Provide information to support your opinion, and incorporate ethos, pathos, and logos. Aristotle's 3 proofs: credibility, emotional proof, and logical proof. And then you'll cue conclusion. Restate thesis, recap main points, and provide a clear ending. So for the persuasive presentation take 2, it will be 6 to 9 minutes. So it's a little longer than the take 1 presentation. You're going to also have a detailed outline, but since you're going to have more information and more research, this will be a little bit longer and more detailed than take 1's. It'll follow the same complete sentence structure, follow the same formal structure as provided with sample outlines, and again, if quoting directly, you must provide parentheticals. Works cited has to be a minimum of 6 sources, and they must be cited in visual aid, in APA format. Sorry. Your visual aid has a minimum of 8 slides, so I believe 5 were the requirements for the last one. This will have a few more slide requirements. And again, as always, you'll have a minimum of 5 audience members, and your visual aid must be incorporated into your presentation. So some basic presentation skills to work on. For all of these speeches, what I want to see from you is growth, that you're taking feedback, you're taking input, and you're improving upon your delivery skills with each presentation. So eye contact, it's important that you practice so that you're not reliant on notes. Gestures, your gestures should be purposeful and to emphasize a point. Try not to put your hands in your pockets or behind your back. Vocal variety, don't read to your audience. Talk to your audience. Practice your material so that you're comfortable with it. Make sure when you share your information to the audience that the way that you do it adds importance to it. Your voice is showing them that you're passionate about your topic and that it should be important to them. Speak slow enough so that you can be heard and understood, but not so slow that your audience loses interest. Vary your voice as you would in a conversation and avoid speaking monotone. Camera placement for your videos. I can't grade and give points for what I can't see. Many times students just show their face and I only see them the neck up in videos. Well, I'm not able to grade their posture or their gestures when that happens. So I can't give you points for things I can't see. So it's important that your camera is far enough back that I can still see your face and your facial expressions, but that I can also see your posture and your gestures. Video requirements. Once again, an audience is required. It must be documented in your video. Preview your video before submitting to ensure that you're seen, heard, and the video is complete. I must be able to see you. Consider the lighting. When you're incorporating your visual aid, maybe you project that from your TV. Don't turn the lights out so that I can see your visual aid but can't see you. I need to see you. You're submitting your visual aid separately so I can see what's on there. The most important thing is that I see that you're using it, but I need to be able to see you. You must be standing. Now, if there's a medical reason why you can't, I completely understand that. Just let me know ahead of time. I must be able to hear you clearly. There should be no participation from the audience, so don't ask for questions or feedback from your audience, and your video cannot be edited and pieced together. Now, that doesn't mean if you start your video and immediately mess up, you can restart your video. I don't know that happens. What I don't want to have happen is that you've videoed it and you've pieced together and edited together a perfect submission. I need to see you do the complete presentation at one time. So just don't edit and piece together. So again, audience requirements, a minimum of 5 audience members are required for each presentation. I must be able to see that your audience members are present. If possible, set up the camera where it's facing you, but the back of the audience's heads are also in view. Presentations without audience members will be graded as a 0 until a resubmission with an audience is made, and then at that point the resubmission will be graded with a late penalty. Okay, so I hope this helps you have a clear understanding of our audience requirements, our presentation requirements for this class. I look forward to seeing the videos that you guys have to offer and to hear the information that you all feel is important and that you're passionate about.